Thanks so much, Maya and Ross. If you're like me, you were blown away by Doug Parker, CEO of American Airlines, talking about how transformation is everyone's responsibility, and certainly not just IT's. If you are interested in learning more about the American Airlines journey and the talent they're looking for, please join a session they're hosting during networking time. We'll post the exact details in Slack right now. Okay, one of the next speakers is the only person who has spoken every year here at DevOps Enterprise Summit, all the way back to 2014. That person is Scott Prugh, Chief Architect and SVP Software Engineering at CSG, a leading provider of customer engagement solutions, and they are a publicly listed company. Over the years, he has spoken about one of the most amazing transformations I've ever seen. The focus of his stories have primarily been around the systems that generate the majority of revenue for the company, which includes changing how the teams work, modernizing mainframe code that goes back over 40 years, migrating away from hostile vendors whose business models are in conflict with their customers, and much, much more. I'm so excited that this year he is speaking with his boss, Ken Kennedy, Executive Vice President and President of Technology and Product. Ken will be speaking about how he, as a profit and loss owner, values the work that Scott and the technology teams have done, and why it's so important that Scott continues to build more leaders within the technology organization, and his advice to this community on how to convince executive management on the importance of DevOps. Also, Scott is on the programming committee for this conference, and he also talks about the leadership lessons learned, which helped enable all the amazing outcomes he's talked about in previous years. Here is Ken and Scott.
Gene, thank you for that introduction. Hello, everyone. My name is Ken Kennedy, and as Gene mentioned, I'm the Executive Vice President at CSG and the President of Technology and Product. And in that capacity, I'm responsible for our product management organization, our engineering organization, our public and private cloud operations, and our corporate IT functions. And my goals center on revenue growth, profitability, and customer satisfaction. And where I spend the majority of my time is looking to optimize the flow of work so we can deliver the greatest value to our customers in the shortest sustainable lead time. And I'm joined today by my colleague, Scott Prugh.
Hi, folks. My name is Scott Prugh. I'm Chief Architect and SVP of Engineering at CSG. And I spent the last couple of years really focusing on high-performance engineering organizations that both build and operate their software.
And today, Scott and I would like to share our story. We will share with you some of our experiences over the past 10 years, the importance of strong leadership, and how to convince executives like me that DevOps matters when it comes to corporate performance. Before we do that, I'd like to briefly share some information on CSG. CSG is a provider of innovative customer engagement solutions that help businesses acquire, monetize, engage, and retain their customers. We've been in business for about 35 years, and we have 500 clients spread out over 100 different countries. Our annual revenue is just shy of $1 billion. We have 4,000 employees around the globe, and we spend about $140 million each year in R&D. The solutions we provide fall into three main categories. The first is around digital monetization, or revenue management is a more common term. And that is basically enabling service providers to be able to monetize the services that they deliver to end customers. The second is around customer engagement, which is really driving the best possible customer experience by delivering the right message to the right individual at the right time through the right channel with the right context. And the third is our digital payment solutions, which enable the transfer of funds, whether through electronic funds transfer, credit card payments, debit card payments. And we have a payment gateway solution that enables our customers to get compensated for the services they deliver. But one of the things I'm most proud about is CSG's repeated recognition by Gartner as a leader in their Magic Quadrant that comes out every year. And by being recognized as a leader, CSG is highlighted for not only their completeness of vision, but also their ability to execute. Our journey over the last 10 years has been a very interesting one, and we look very different from when we entered the last decade. Over the past 10 years, we've created accountable cross-functional high-performing teams that have allowed us to be more efficient. We've introduced a lean portfolio management that enables our product management to focus on those features that are going to drive the greatest value and manage our work in process. We've also invested heavily to the tune of tens of millions of dollars in automation and technology modernization. And we've achieved faster throughput and significantly improved quality by some of the changes we've made, embracing DevOps principles and optimizing flow. And finally, we've fostered a culture of continuous improvement and learning by making this a safe environment where we learn from our mistakes rather than punishing people for mistakes. But to get into a little more detail, I'd like to hand that off to Scott Prugh.
Talk a little bit now about really our journey and what we've discussed over the last few years at DevOps Enterprise. You know, we started in 2014 really talking about our agile transformation, and then really carried that the next couple of years through our DevOps transformation. And that focus was really around the dramatic people and process changes we made to reach higher performance. Last year at DOES 2019, Gene reached out to me and he asked for me to talk about our modernization journey and really how we went about implementing, CI, automated testing, and even large-scale code conversion and porting across a lot of our infrastructure. And that even included modernizing our mainframe and basically starting to convert a lot of the code off and actually converting from traditional VSAM systems to modern relational databases. And this year, both Ken and I will be talking to you about executive leadership and how DevOps matters to corporate performance. So a little look back at some of the metrics we've covered the last couple of years. Through our agile transformation, kind of early DevOps, we did grow our subscriber base quite a bit. And then also at the same time, transactions in our system grew dramatically. And as you can see, really kind of up to date, we've grown from 50 million subscribers to date to